the grade. They're making their way up. And against the Lady Tuskers, well, it's a good opportunity again to see where they have come from. Where they're at. The Tuskers, as we know, very, very strong side.
That's right, and keep your eyes out, especially on number 7, Dulani, number 10, Tanuja. They are dangerous players, and Anusha in 12 scored a great try from about 80 metres out earlier on. Sri Lanka going down to Hong Kong 33-10, and Malaysia going down to Japan 50 points to 0. So this is a more evenly sided match, you would say, but again, Sri Lanka should be favourites for this. Our referee, Paddy Kwok from Hong Kong Society of Referees, and it's Ayesha Kalawarachi gets this underway, and she finds some grass and dribbles across the sideline about 10 metres out from the Malaysian line, so they're straight under pressure here.
Line out, okay. Set it up, please. Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, the newbies, coming in for promoted, relegated South Korea, sorry. Winning their Div 1. They've got to move on around the front there, but they're not falling that, the Sri Lankans, as Maslina trundles around the front with it, right in their dead ball area. This is brave or really silly, but let's say brave for now. They try to run it out. Christian Cullen, 1996 Hong Kong 7 style, and they do it. They get out. What a try this would be. No, but you're not going to get around Dulani too easy. One of the quickest players in the tournament.
Takes something special to run around a Tuskers outfit. They are absolute flyers. Right across the board. So, but fortune favours the brave. How's that from Malaysia? When you can't kick the exit, you might as well run it.
It's a long way to touch line from under the post, and they just nailed that line out. Beautifully done. Piling into the line now, and that's gone into the hands of Ayesha, and she's going under the post there. That's a well-worked move, straight from the training ground. Taken off the top. Players in motion, and Ayesha goes over for her first try of the series. Take another look here. This was masterful. She comes around. They run hard at the line, and back on the inside. There she is. She was involved 3 times. Threw the ball in, looped around, and got the ball back on the inside. It's great work. Here's coach Sudath Sampath. He would be very pleased with that. It really is training ground stuff. Hard to make that work against no opposition. Is my experience. So they lead 7-0, Sri Lanka. Putting the heat on these new entrants, Malaysia. And now they'll get a chance from the dot. Emily Chua brings it forward. I'd like to see her with a bit of space. She looks like a very skillful, well-balanced runner. Sets off the runners here. And look at them coming onto the ball, Malaysia. That's really nice rugby. But unfortunately, that's maybe a bit of inexperience just getting themselves run across the touchline. The 2 players in the yellow headgear, Rosliana, I think it's Iza, teamed up well there, really hitting the ball at pace. Ayesha is going to get this underway again. Let's see if they can do it again. They've done it again. Ayesha gets the ball, feeds it out to the pivot. That was Tanuja standing there at pivot. And now hang on, hold the phones. Dulani's out wide, she gets pulled down. The pass comes up off the ground, it's a beauty, they're not going to catch her. Emily Chua's given chase, but going all the way is Anusha. And from a line out, so 2 line outs, 2 tries. Sri Lanka have got their drill work down pat at the moment. That's a really classy try by the Tuskers. Second try in the series for her. So from right out in front, flag is raised. That's really nice as we watch it again now. It just popped up off the ground. Great support running. And at that pace. And no sweeper. Tuskers with the restart. They lead by 14 points to 0.
Tackled!
Malaysia work it back. Here's Emily Chua, tried to show and go there. It's the right idea. Gets pulled down by Delani. They recover. Here's Siti Fatima, 3. Here we go again from these hard-running players. This is good. This is Morifalana. She's going to go all the way. Yes, she is. That's a beautiful move. Norfarahana Aziz goes under the post. And how about that by Malaysia? That's their first try at this high level, and her first try. They're up on the premiership of the Women's 7 Series, and that is as good as try as you'll see from any side. Just a bit of a step there, change of pace, stepped in off the right, swerved, and went all the way. Very, very impressive indeed. And Malaysia's saying, whatever you can do, we can do too. That'll give them some hope, some confidence, and as we saw with South Korea coming in a couple of seasons ago, it took them a few events really to build the confidence and to score tries. Same with Sri Lanka maybe 3 seasons ago. Now look at them, they're consistently last season the 5th best team out of 8. They came in at the bottom level, struggled, learned, got better. This is Izar Azizan. She taps and goes quickly. They really start to enjoy themselves out there. Good low tackle, chopping them down. Are they on the outside? Can't get a free. More advantage. So Malaysia being rewarded for attacking here. Here's a try scorer. Norfarahana Aziz. The Sri Lankans just blow over it. And referee Quox is not enough advantage. Go back to the far side here.
Go back.
Big hit coming in there, wasn't it? It was a beauty. So here's a chance for them to score and bring level with Sri Lanka. Trundling it up is Maslina. These two with the yellow headgear, you got to keep your eye on them. Look, trying to get the ball free. Almost tackled early, well read by the Sri Lankan defence.
Over.
Knock on by Sri Lanka, so they're going to face some more pressure, but the hooter is gone, unfortunately, for Malaysia, so much improved performance by them. They only trail here 14 points to 7. See how hot it is out there. Referee glistening in that sun as the sun gets lower right in your face, giving you the full brunt of its power. 14 points to 7. 3 good tries, and this one wide open at the half.
Thank you. Okay, all good.
Seems to have got a lot hotter as the day went on. It's hotter now than it was at midday when we arrived here. But the sun is at its highest. Neither of these two teams strangers to hot weather though. tomorrow these teams will be back in action for round 3. Sri Lanka will be facing Japan. Malaysia will face Hong Kong.
Sri Lanka.
Tough games tomorrow for both these sides. Here come Sri Lanka. Straight from the kickoff. Just holding that 7-point lead, and they'll look to build on that now because they're not sure. They're not sure what this Malaysian side's capable of if they get a bit of confidence going. And already in the space of 2 games, we've seen them improving, and that's what it's all about. And getting on the outside now is Nemesha. She's going to roll around, beats a couple of tackles infield to make it easier for the kick. Look out behind you. Good stuff from Emily Chua, chasing to the last minute. That's the 3rd try for Sri Lanka.
Some people will be scratching their heads wondering how they held them to 14-7, Malaysia. Their first tournament in the top league. I think it's pretty interesting, this Malaysian outfit. Could be a real sleeping giant. Women's rugby out of Malaysia. You never know.
4.
Yeah, it takes a couple of seasons, doesn't it? We've seen that with the Koreans, with the Sri Lankans, to really get your mojo going. And we've got the Singaporeans who've been in this series for at least 3 or 4 seasons. With a fairly constant squad of players that probably the standout is not really able to advance themselves. Sri Lanka are the real exception, I'd say. Just going from just rock bottom to really challenging the top 4. And look, here we go again. Out wide here. This is Azizan. Tries to get away. Hard to get on the outside of these Sri Lankans, but they're not afraid of having a crack. They've been given the message. Put your yellow headgear on and go for it.
7 and 5.
They've just shown really good confidence on the ball. You know, and to attack Sri Lanka out wide, you've got to move the ball out wide. And I think from that perspective alone, it's interesting to see the team come out of the division below, and they've already got some of the prerequisite skills. The foundation's already there. Physically, they're not out of, there's no mismatch at all. Malaysia, if anything, are possibly a little bit bigger. So it's very interesting indeed. Good to see.
So a couple of substitutions by both coaches. Sri Lanka taking off their danger players, Tanuja and Dulani. Obviously they think they've done enough here to save themselves a little bit for tomorrow's big matchup.
Play on.
Taking at the base there, Emily Chua getting caught with the ball in hand. It's good harrowing work from the Sri Lanka scrum half. Good ripping there from Maslina, number 1, but he's playing advantage, Paddy Kwok, and they swing it wide now, and they're just looking for some space to get their pace players. Ayesha goes into contact, pulls out. There's good cover defence again from Azar. 4 minutes remaining. These are the games where Malaysia can really express themselves. It's not so easy playing Hong Kong and Japan because you end up just tackling the whole game, but they're able to get a bit of ball and survive on scraps in a game like this. And there's 4th try for Sri Lanka, just muscling their way through the middle there, just bending the Malaysian defence to eventually it cracks.
We might have hit the red line for the Malaysian defence, I think.
Put 2 or 3 players in there into that ruck, and so there's still should have got through that gap perhaps, but that's good, strong, hard running by Sanjiwani De Silva getting her first try for the day. So it's beyond doubt now. Quick count of numbers as more substitutions are going on. They try to catch them out on the left, but they've kicked it straight into the hands of Azizan, and she really has a crack every time. I like her bravery. She's courageous, just knows no other way. That's really cool to see. Float one over here to the hands now of Emma. Sorry, this is Euphrasia.
Must release. Ball down.
Good tenacious defence from Sri Lanka, just letting them get away with nothing here.
It certainly is.
You don't want the new blokes, the new sort of team on the block coming in and bullying you around when you fought your way off the bottom. They go quick now. Fitness is going to tell a bit here in these final stages. It's very open. Both teams wanting to get on with things. This is their easiest game for each of them.
Lost forward. 10.
Some more subs
Stop.
now. These final moments.
We're on for a good one after this too. Boozer, a real ding dong.
Are we? What's up?
Hong Kong
Here, please.
and Japan. Hong Kong and the Sakura.
Time on.
That is a big one. Don't go away
Crouch. Bind.
for too long.
Sit.
Right on the halfway then, Malaysia. Standing very deep as their fly half. And this time it's Nofa Rahana is, and there's another yellow cap out there. It's Cindy John Passan.
Play on.
Turned it over though. There goes Ayesha. And she just floats that one inside, and it's a bit messy, but getting it on the bounce is Anusha. It's tough work on the ground now. There's a big tackle coming in from Siti Fatuma. Into the final minute now of this play, and scampering away go the Sri Lankans. And they've really got their act together in the second half. And it's Tasuni De Silva getting a chance to show what she can do out wide with Dulani and Thanuja on the bench.
You got
First
30
try
seconds.
of the series for her. Conversion is good. So that's 5 tries, and good final pass too, wasn't it,
Well
from Ayesha? Those one of the easiest things to do in rugby, and yet so hard to do sometimes.
off.
Put it right out in front. As the hooter sounds, 35-7. It's impressive, 5 converted tries, all under the dot.
Okay, stay behind.
Well, hats off to the ladies' Tuskers. That's a good performance, isn't it? They'll be able to end it with a score, or can Malaysia show us a little glimmer of what lies beneath.
They shovel it wide, and of course they're going to have a crack. It's Izar takes on 2 or 3 Sri Lankans. Her buddy,
Great claim.
yeah, good turnover, illegally so. Here's another chance. They just go 100 miles an hour. They just point themselves at the post and go for it.
Unlucky.
It's an unforced error. What does Sri Lanka want to do here? They want more. Oh, that's a great tackle. That's a great delivery under pressure there, and it's over the shoulder of Dulani, and that'll be the end of the game there with that knock on. So a good outing by both sides. Malaysia, well, they've been well beaten, but of course they've had a chance to express themselves a little bit more, put themselves under a bit more pressure. They scored a good try as well. So Sri Lanka showing a bit of class, coming back, scoring with 5 converted tries to take this one out, 35 points to 7, to pretty much seal third spot in that pool.